All right, episode 2. So this episode has a joke that would go on to define my Joe basically for the rest of my career. I cannot get away from this joke as much as I would like to, but it has a lot of funny moments in it from what I can recall as well. And in terms of how I got this out, I think it was 3 to 4 days or something after the first episode. It had gained a couple hundred views before then, so that really gave me the motivation to get this out and continue the series. But yeah, I mean, without further ado, let's get right into it. Oh, no, you don't. Hey guys, it's GP6 here from the future. I'm currently in the middle of my time skip arc at the moment, so I'm going to keep this message brief. I'm going to be on an episode of the Skill Link podcast tomorrow. Josh and Logan were kind enough to invite me onto the show, and we talked everything Pokemon and AI presence related. A lot of stuff got to do with my channel, and a couple of things that got me into Pokemon, and what even got me into making the AI presence series that you're watching right now. So I would really appreciate if you went over and you watched that video, either live as it premieres, or you watch it on the playback, on the VOD, or whatever it might be. And yeah, that would be great. If you guys could go over there, comment, say that GP6 sent you, or that, I don't know, Toilet Bird Gang rise up, or Daddy Swallow didn't hail me, something like that, just to give them a little personal message and let them know what we're all about. That's about it. Okay, I gotta go back to editing. Enjoy. Here the boys.
Yo, what's up, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Sapphire. Since last episode, the team has gotten a bit stronger. DZeef has learned Foresight, which is borderline useless, and Save Me has learned Knockoff. Also a pretty worthless move, if I remember correctly.
Actually, Joe, this randomizer has updated moves to their newest incarnation. Knockoff has gone up to a whopping 65 base power, although I don't think it's programmed to get even stronger if an item is knocked off. Still, in a seed like this, where held items will be common, it's a fantastic move overall.
Shush, Barack, let me get my first capture of the run.
Oh, my absolute divine. Joe, what a cluster of a start.
F-bomb! There it is.
To capture a Tentacruel
Less
on
than
this
2
route
minutes.
last episode?
Just testing you guys, that's all.
You would not believe the amount of comments I've seen where somebody says, why did you not try catch the Golbat? That was your first encounter. There's another one in this episode that I've gotten so many comments about, maybe 10 plus. We'll get to it.
Shut the f*** up, you slip-sliding buffoon.
F-bomb.
Say, Barack, I presume you worked on a farm before, right?
Holy Christ, Donald, what the jiggity did you just say? Making a comment like that online is bound to get your crusty Goodra looking canceled.
Goodra, by the way, again, that's the pronunciation coming into it. Goodra, how would you say Goodra? Probably D-R-A-H. So G-O-O-D-R-A-H. That's probably how you get Goodra out. You know what I wanted to do actually for a while? I think this would be a fun stream idea, where I stream trying to get the program, the Play.ht voice cloning program, to pronounce all Pokemon. We go from top to bottom, and we type it in, and we try and get a voice to say, like, every single Pokemon properly. I think that'd be hilarious, you know? That'd be a fun stream to do, maybe. I don't know. Let me know.
I'm just saying, Barack, can you please just put aside your pedophilic behavior for 2 seconds and start cooking in some battles?
F-bomb.
No problem, Donnie, I call this the Supreme Biden Blast. Let's see, since Rudolph is a flying type, Rock Tomb should clip this son of a bee sting faster than your greasy heart rate during lunch hours.
Go to sleep, you rotting corpse.
Is it a coincidence that in every episode 2 of a GP series, Joe goes on to talk about a Biden blast? Maybe. But the Rock Tomb move here, justified.
And by the way, Vital Throw would have one hit killed that stupid reindeer.
Wait for it.
Oh no, I'm so scared. What am I going to do against one of the weakest Pokemon ever? And it's level 4 too. Oh God, I'm overloading my sherbet stick with the amount of stress I'm going through right now.
And you call me Sus Sleepy Joe? Or
Should I
say
call you
Sussy
Joe?
Jesus Christ, I was joking. Donald, get a grip. Stantler is booty cheeks. There ain't no way in hell I would be scared of that thing.
Credit where credit is due, Joe. I'm proud you reacted to that conversion and used Bite to finish it off effectively.
Yeah, of course, Obama, thanks. For real, though, this run button is making the game move a little too fast for me.
Before we get to this part, that was another kind of common trope that I wanted to bring across. I kind of wish I did it a bit more. I don't feel like I really capitalized on it, but I wanted the other guys to comment on Joe's performance and say, wow, you're actually doing really well. You know, like, how did you know that Bite would be super effective there? That's crazy. And then he's just like, yeah, I totally knew that's what I was doing. Yeah, of course it was going to be super effective. I wanted to really theme his gameplay around that, where I actually play well, and I think and I calculate things to the best of my ability. And then in the post-editing, I have Joe being like, I would bite Stantler's face or something. I don't know. And then the other boys are like, yeah, how'd you know that was going to be super effective? Yeah, because it's super effective. That's why, that's why I want to bite it. But I don't think I really did, that as much as I wanted to, but, it is what it is. He'll go on to have other character traits. It's fine.
Why does the trainer have to move off like a bullet just because his kicks were changed? Never mind, I understand why. Ooh, yeah, here comes Papa Joe.
Joe, for God's sake, calm the down.
A lot of Fs.
Don't go busting a nut over a 16-bit sprite.
Sorry, guys, the meds were getting to my head. All this adrenaline pumping through my veins from running is really getting me psyched up. I do apologize. If it was a boy, I would have done the same thing, so that's how you know it was the pills.
Inclusive.
I'm not surprised at that last statement, Joe. Donnie, add young boys to that list of people Joe's got to stay 50 feet away from.
Already on it, Barack.
Young boys and any female at all. Anything else we can think of while we are at it?
Go ahead and put Gulpin and Swallow on the list, too.
Excuse me,
Joe?
Joe, care to explain?
Okay, listen closely, Barack. Okay?
All right, go ahead, Joe.
I would inflate Gulpin and swallow it with my flour,
my whizzy glizzy
at a rapid pace.
Joe, turn away from the light.
And
Joe,
pleasure I would
you are
gain
better
from
than
that
this,
shizzle.
Mr.
Would
President.
frizzle my nizzle for real.
real.
I am actually at a loss for words. How the hell do we move on from that abomination?
All right, time for the first gym.
That's perfect, right? The Joe thinks, Joe's unfamiliar with this game. He thinks this is the first gym. So they're like, just totally stunned. How do we move on from that? That was disturbing. I don't know what to say. All right, let's go. First gym, baby. Let's do this. I just think that, again, just that juxtaposition was hilarious. But, yeah, this is where the series really started to become unhinged, And this is really where I started to spiral into a kind of out of control writing style that I hadn't really mastered yet. So that, coupled with the cursing and the overabundance of really over the top kind of gruesome and a bit much humor, it's definitely, if you thought these first few episodes were a little bit hard to watch because it was too much and it was too the same thing over and over and over and over again, I really wouldn't blame you. I really wouldn't. It does get smart and more creative later on as the series continues, but at the very beginning, I'd say first 10, 15 episodes, yeah, there is a lot of things that I wish I said better. There's a way to get across that type of stuff, but it's not just throwing it out willy-nilly like there's no tomorrow.
Joe.
Guys, I'm incredibly sorry. Truth be told, I've been taking new pills specifically designed to help play Pokemon better. The doctor said it would take a few days for the effect to kick in, and side effects vary.
Oh, really? What were you prescribed, Joe?
Funny enough, the doctor said just take the vitamins you can find in game. Protein, zinc, calcium, HP up, etc. Once you up all those vitamins, your plays will be as good as they can get.
Okay, sorry, boys, I've calmed down.
Watch the sandstorm hit Wally.
Joe, but how exactly did you ingest an HP?
Yeah.
Surprisingly easier than I thought it would be. All right, it's capturing time.
Let's see what you get, Sleepy Joe. Hopefully something useful that you won't instantly kill.
Yep, just as I predicted, a docile Heracross.
Damn, bug types suck, though. Sorry to be bringing the team down, guys.
Apology refused, Joseph. Heracross is an absolute beast of a unit. I remember shedding a tear when it dropped to UU in black and white, but thankfully with its Mega, it shot back up to OU. His typing alone should give us some decent options. If we get Megahorn, I will literally shit bricks right now in front of you.
I mean, it has Spore Donnie. That is literally all we need. It's a win-win. If we outspeed, Heracross is untouchable.
A bit quick there on that transition between Donald and Obama. I'm actually surprised that is in one of these earlier episodes. But, yeah, again, there's the competitive side of Donald being shown that he's aware of Heracross's OU history, dropping down in Gen 5 and then coming back during Gen 6. This Heracross is very interesting, and when we get to it, we'll get to it, but there is a very interesting dilemma I was in when I caught this thing. We'll get to it. You know, we'll wait for the May 2 fight.
If we are slow, we are likely bulky, meaning we can take a hit and send them to the dream world.
Peep this. Dragon breath is about to paralyze. I can feel it.
Holy shit, Joe. I'm going to start calling you Obama. Oh, f***ity f*** yeah. Let's go, boys. We win run over. Time to
Donald, you tangerine leave those pants on.
Leave those
Between
pants
you and
on.
Joe's antics, the fanfic writers have enough new material to play with after this episode.
Oh, Joe, if I didn't hate your guts, I would slide up in those guts right now.
No homo. My favorite joke in the whole series, and I only love it as much because of the fans, is the fact that they are aware that this is a series and that this is an official story, right? And they go on to make the joke more commonly later of the manga of the President's Play, right? And them being like, you're giving the fanfic writers enough as it is. It's like, how do you know there's fanfic writers? What person's making fan fiction of this? But this also starts Donald's no homo arc, which is interesting. Again, I could have portrayed it a lot better, but it is what it is.
Who the f*** am I playing a kids game with right now?
Sorry for the pause again. That's one of my favorite lines in the whole thing. Who the F am I playing a kids game with right now? Like, it's just such a small thing, right? Like, who am I playing this game with? Like, seriously, who are these two? Like, weirdos. Why?
All right, you guys will love the name. Your wife. Because every time I see your wife, I get mega horny. Get it? Because it's your wife, it applies to anyone you talk to. God, I am hilarious.
Even though the name is dog shit, I'll give you props, Joe. I can't wait to get my hands on your wife next time I play this game.
I love that. Joe giving the name your wife. Donald trash talking it. That is the worst name I've ever heard, you know, but I can't wait to get my hands on your wife later. And you just realize the joke. Maybe now I would have had him laugh at the end. You know, been like, that is the worst joke ever, Joe. What a terrible nickname. But I can't wait to get my hands on your wife next episode. I get it. That probably would have been how I tackled that there.
I can't wait to get my hands on your wife next time I play this game. I get it.
Hey, Barack, what's the comment question of the day for this episode?
Well, Joe, you are the one playing the game this time, so it's your turn to ask the question. Just make sure you shamelessly plug the channel as well.
Okay, I understand now. Make sure to follow and rate this episode as well as the channel. Game something 8 or whatever his name is.
You had one job,
Game
Joe.
something
it's Game
something 8,
Producer
by the
6,
way.
and it's subscribed to the channel. Freaking moron.
Yeah, that's obviously what I meant. Okay, question of the day is, how big is your dog's penis?
Obama, please, I can't deal with this guy. Sort him out for God's sake.
Okay, Joe, come back down to earth for goodness sake. First of all, the question should be Pokemon related. Second, Donnie, put
dogs on that list.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Again, unhinged. That's all I can say. I just thought it would be hilarious, right? You have this build-up. Joe doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't understand kind of the procedure of, he's the one playing, he should be the one asking the comment question, right? And then Brock's like, no, you got to do it. Like, you know, it's on you. Just shout out the channel. He's like, game something 8. Rate the video. Comment to the side. You know, subscribe up top or whatever. Anyway, the question is, how big is your dog's? And it's just anarchy. It's just absolutely hilarious. You know, he doesn't know what's going on, and he's trying to make sense of it. So naturally, the first question he has to ask the viewers is about your dog's schlong. Makes sense to me.
Joe, control yourself.
Oh, squiggly chuff, my ugly buff. Yeah. And it's a boy. Oh.
Barack, tell me he kills him.
Even better, Donnie.
Oh, you
Donald.
son of a midget's bitch. Never mind, boys. I will never simp for such a bum-ass Pokemon ever again. What a worthless piece of garbage.
Wow, how heroic of you, Joe. Not simping over a baby Pokemon. You truly are America's bravest icon.
Anytime, Barack. Anywho, my real comment question of the day is this. If you could have one Pokemon in real life, who would it be? Mine would be Machamp.
I think it's very important for me to say now as well. A lot of these common questions that I answer are based off of my likes, you know? So not that I would have wished for a Machamp to be in real life and name it after myself so that it could sign documents. That's not what I mean at all. But, you know, some of their answers, as we'll get to as well, and especially in the later episodes, they come from my personal experience, my personal opinion. I think the next episode is about the spin-off games. That was like directly, basically, games that I really, really love. But that's how I was so easily able to come up with it. Sometimes I use my top 3. Sometimes I use fan favorites. Sometimes, you know, I have one of them say a fan favorite, one that's an out there choice, one that's mine, or whatever. That's how I approached the common question for this. So that right there, not my opinion.
Mine would be Eevee.
Not my opinion.
I would have this cute, cuddly little animal trotting around my house, just enjoying life with me.
Donald, let the master do his work. Look at this amateur. He's trying to flinch me even though he's slower than me. I'm going to beat his ass into the grass. No Sceptile.
Bars and plays? Color me impressed, Joe. I didn't think you were capable, but I'm genuinely in shock at your gameplay right now.
I'll admit, you absolutely whooped him into next weekend, Joe. I knew you had it in you, just a bit of focus, and look what your sleepiness can achieve. The Pokemon I would choose to have in real life would be Mega Rayquaza.
Also not my choice.
He is literally the ultimate assimilation weapon. They made an entirely new tier for his power-creeping ass, for Christ's sake.
A bit bland, Donald, but you do you.
This is kind of where I started to understand the Pokemon bars. I call myself the Pokepun God, right? This is when I started to really incorporate it. Beat his into the grass, no Sceptile, you know, like simple things like that. And that is where I started to deviate my style to, that kind of away from the dark humor into the, you know, bars and the plays and stuff. I've been a fan of Pokemon ciphers for years. Shofu and his team, absolutely insane. The amount of work that they put into that is crazy. And when the cipher drops for this year, cipher 2023, I guess, it was meant to come out last year. Maybe they'll dub it 2024. I don't know. But when that comes out, I do want to do a reaction of it, go through, try catch as many of those bars as I can. But they are a huge inspiration for this. So you will see a lot of times that I attribute towards them. And there's a lot of bars in here that I took heavy inspiration from them. And I will clarify because I can't put my hand up and say that they were 100% my doing. But that's when I kind of started to realize that is the approach that I want to go with the series. Obviously not right now, right? This is too early in the series. I haven't made my over-the-top dark humor joke yet that really made me change my perspective. But we're getting there.
Joe, don't start with your stupid shit. Crunch is a special attack in this generation. Choice Band doesn't boost its power at all.
But crunch is a physical action. You crunch that Big Mac sack of shit every day.
Get it right, it's 5 times a day. I know crunching is a physical action, but because of the Pokemon designers being too lazy to split physical and special moves, they just made all dark moves special moves.
It's true. And again, this is another thing that I would go on to be known for, is my Pokemon knowledge. A lot of people apparently did not know this. Dark type is a special attacking type in this game, in Gen 3. And the only reason I know that vividly is because on Pokemon Showdown, I believe it's the Gen 3 OU, or there's a Gen 3 lobby room. I don't even know if it's still around. But the tagline for it was, back when Bite and Crunch were special moves. And the more you think about that, absolutely ridiculous. How is biting something not a physical action? But it's crazy because you could still, I think it was still technically counted as a contact move. So it was a special move with contact properties, but it wasn't a physical, like, you know, it just didn't make sense.
Freaking dumb. All right, I'll rock Snoop with the Choice Band.
Again, that was my opinion. It's freaking
nice.
dumb.
A full restore. That's some nice extra cash in our pockets.
I would have saved it for the Elite Four, but selling it now increases our odds of getting there, if only slightly. What the f***?
Thank God I found that. Save Me was really getting low there on health.
God damn it, Joe.
What HP was he on?
But selling it now increases our odds of getting there, if only slightly.
I I forgot I used it at 10 HP. He was really getting low on health. Bro, he was on 10 HP. He had lost 10 HP. But again, this is when I really started to play into the gameplay side of it, you know, that I knew Joe was playing this episode, so I could play into him being a little bit dumber and stuff throughout the episode.
Okay, fine, you big bullies. I'll save this Ultra Ball later then if we need it. Is that enough resource saving for you, Barack?
This Beldam. I have gotten too many comments about it. Route 104 is north and south of the forest of Petalburg Woods. This is the same route. This Beldam I cannot catch because I already caught the Heracross. The amount of people that have tried to tell me, no, it's a different route, it's a different route. It is not. I have played Ruby and Sapphire too many times, and it's drilled into me, right, where I can get my encounters at this point. That's why I go back when I get the old rod. I go back to the towns. The only thing that I learned in this playthrough that was new to Gen 3 or new to my Gen 3 playing experience, is that surfing in Petalburg, is it Petalburg? Yeah. Surfing in Petalburg City, there's no encounters. You can only fish, which I thought was interesting. And the only thing I could fish there was a dupe. So, yeah. This Beldam, I can't catch it.
No need to be such a bitch, Giuseppe. Let the gameplay do the talking. Your next item should prove worthy in our journey.
Damn, you know it's good when Barack foreshadows it.
Conditioning.
Oh, hell yeah. The only thing I love more than bitch is more money. My favorite non-competitive item, if not my favorite item of all time.
All right.
I would have let the battle fade out there. I would have faded out the music. And then I would have faded into the overworld. Again, minor editing thing, but just something I noticed.
Time to drown these two little gals real quick.
Jesus Christ, Joe. You go from one extreme to another.
I forgot I said this.
To wanting to drown them in the nearby lake. That is some messed up shit.
I meant drown them in my... it's Daddy Swallet. Inhale my dysfunction erect missile, Papa.
Ex-mother, excuse me, Joe. I'm going to regret asking, but what the skippity did you just say?
Sorry, guys. Let me tone it down for you this time. Oh, it's Daddy Swallet. Inhale my dysfunction erect missile, Papa. Oh.
When I got Joe to say that for the first time, the freak out was too funny not to use. That was my approach to it. I had to get him to say it the way he did. But I watched it back and I was trying to think, you know, would I understand what was said there if I was watching it through? You know, probably not, right? The freak out makes it a little bit too ambiguous as to what's said. So I had Obama do the part where he goes, what did you say? Like, what was that? And Joe says, all right, let me actually slow it down for you. And then he says it in a deadpan tone with the freak out still thrown in. This is where Joe's love for Swallots truly began. I thought Swalot was a middling Pokemon, right? I wasn't a big fan of it. It was fine. It got the job done. I think it's cool that it can learn special moves like Thunderbolt and I think Ice Beam. I've used it on a few Ruby and Sapphire casual playthroughs, but nothing more than that. And now it is cemented in the legacy of this series being Joe's true desire, which we will come to, unfortunately, hear more about as time goes on.
Fine, screw you two. I'm going to get my Route 116 encounter solo then. Ooh, it's a sussy boy.
Hey, Joe, I'm back. I don't know if Donnie is deafened or not, but I was actually straight up puking for the last 5 minutes straight. Thanks for that, by the way. Anyway, Ditto with its 288 base stat total is quite pitiful, but we might get some use out of it.
Hey, boys. Just back from McDonald's. Had to wash down that disgusting taste in my mouth. Thanks for that, by the way. Also, Ditto does not have Imposter yet, Joe, and it likely won't have Transform either.
I love that. That's like a small thing, right? Where Brock comes back and he says, oh, I was just puking for 5 minutes straight. Thanks for that, by the way. And then Donald comes back and says, I just went to McDonald's and I had to wash that horrible taste out of my mouth. Thanks for that, by the way. You know, it's the contrast. Not even the contrast, actually. They're saying the same thing, basically, dissing Joe that way. But in terms of, you know, saying the same thing in a different context. It's small things like that, small humor like that you might not pick up on, that I find that funny.
Joe with the instant smog poison play. Smart move, Joe. This capture's in the bag.
Donnie, did you get us anything?
Yeah, actually. I got a large Mac you for yourself, Joe. And for Baraka Media Mac,
suck on D's.
No salt, though.
Damn.
I'd love a salty Mac.
Suck on D's right about now.
I'm going to nickname this ditto after what the boys used to call me back in high school. Captain Splurge.
Okay, nobody wants to know why you were called that, Joe. Drop it.
That was a good pause. I'll give myself that. That one was good. Maybe a little bit too long, but it's good. Yeah, I'm going to nickname this what the boys used to call me back in college, Captain Splurge. All right, nobody's going to ask why.
Joe, remember, poison can kill.
Oh yeah, you're right, Barack. I can't let our newest team member die so quickly. Not on my watch. Mainly because it's Gucci, and I don't want to give it up. But anyway, let me get rid of this nasty status.
That joke there, maybe a lot of people don't get. He says, I'm not going to let him die on my watch, right? The phrase, not on my watch. But he's not going to let him die on his watch, mainly because it's Gucci. He has a Gucci watch, and he doesn't want anybody dying on it in terms of giving it up, maybe placing a bet with the Gucci watch on the line, or literally dying on his watch because it'll stain the Gucci watch. Just, nobody talks about it, but it's just something that I threw in there.
Joe, you fucking dumbass. You used a Rossberry. Splurge is going to die. Stop fucking around and use a goddamn Pitchaberry, please. Oh, fuck.
Oh, mothers.
Oh, mothers.
Double edge kills Joe, don't forget.
Barack, you toasty ass wipe. How can you be so calm?
Well, I mean, it was either one shot with double edge or use runaway to run away. Why should I be worried? Would you be that incompetent to select vital throw?
Donnie, I'm so freaking sorry. This robot Obama is creeping me out. I promise I'll never make that poison mistake again.
It's all good, Joe. Just head to the center and save this bitch.
Phew, that's it for me, boys. I'll see you both next time.
I'll see you both next time. Overall, good shit. I'm proud of the work you put in today, and watching you torment Donnie had me dying of laughter inside.
Screw you, Barack. I'm finna head back to the drive-thru for seconds, perhaps thirds. All I have to say is, make sure to subscribe to the goddamn channel, man.
That was a reference to Hook and God. Subscribe to the goddamn channel, man. I love Hook and God, bro. But yeah, I love the little comment that Donald throws in there. I'm going back to the drive-thru for seconds, possibly thirds. Anyway, make sure. It's such a quick one. Like nobody has time to comment on it. That he throws in there. Maybe thirds. Anyway, back to the video. Overall, that was actually. I'm pleasantly surprised at how well that episode went. Too many Fs. Too many curses. A few pauses, definitely unnecessary, but overall, actually a really good episode. I can see why this one kind of grew the channel a little bit more. If you were to view this for the first time versus episode 1, I do think you would enjoy this more so than the first episode. But yeah, that's episode 2. I apologize if it's scuffed, but thank you for watching, and I will see you for the next one, episode 3. Catch you later.